Okay, stream is live. People can jump on the first. Anyone that makes it is first. And Unstable gets it. Good job, Unstable. Pat, 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 pat. You are lurking quite a bit if you got the 2 follows I got like 5 minutes ago. Sneaky, sneaky. Keeping Desi on her toes for sure. Okay, this is up. Cat is in the right place. Oh, love. The battle for the first here is real. Oh my gosh. Aw, poor love. Just a second. Okay, getting back to the game. Yeah, but I'm having fun with you fighting for the first and being here as the stream starts, so blood sports remain. For my own personal pleasure. Hey Gray, thanks for the follow and thanks for dropping by. Unstable? No. If you do that, I will remove it. And then I won't care who comes first. Yeah, actually Bessie can do that, so that's a thing too. Okay. Now let's go check out some mammoths. So there are actually these 2 locations here that would take us back to locations we went past last time. I believe there was nothing else here. Look how many benches. I need this much benches in my country. We don't have these many benches in my entire capital city as they have here. I'm jealous. Okay, so nothing. No missing screens, and off we go on the next screen then. If we're gonna see mammoths, or was the fountain there? Oh, mammoths, there we go. All the mammoths in the world. And then the beautiful fountain. Really enjoy the aesthetics of this game.
This thing's jammed.
We had needed the egg. Oh my gosh. It's really good in those you need this super convoluted thing to progress further. Oh, there's a person here. I think he was quite a bit of an asshole, actually.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big round eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
Yeah, that kid was a brat. Okay, let's go and check the most annoying people in this game. I believe there is no one more annoying than the faculty of the university. There were creeps, but not quite as annoying. No, actually, I think he was just flavor text. Oh yeah, we'll be visiting this eventually. It's reflections. Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Damn, I need this auditorium in my college. Like, that's ever gonna happen. Probably half my college building can fit in this university auditorium. Well, you're not supposed to be comfortable. How are you not gonna fall asleep during a lecture if they're comfortable?
Excuse me. Sir, please, just a moment.
Yes, what is it? I'm not deaf, you know.
I am sorry to disturb you in your work, sir, but
This young mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000 years old. Fantastic, wouldn't you say, miss?
yes, probably.
What do you mean, probably?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know, I see. What can I do for you, my dear child?
To tell you the truth, I don't know very much about mammoths, and I'm not here as a student. In fact, I'm a lawyer.
It's all right, nobody's perfect. All the same, the study of the Pleistocene period is fascinating.
I'm sure it is, but I'm sorry to say my current mission is totally monopolizing my time. Another time, maybe.
Ah, that's what they all say. But anyway, let me present myself. I'm Cornelius Ponce, Emeritus Professor and Lecturer at the University of Barrockstadt. I'm proud to say that I'm head of the Department of Paleozoology at our university.
Kate Walker. Pleased to meet you. Professor, how do I say this? You see, I didn't think I'd need a lot of money when I set out. And it turns out I need money after all. It's a delicate matter, I know, but I was wondering if you could help me out.
My dear, it would be a pleasure, but you see, I barely have enough myself to cover my meager expenditure on what I'm paid by the university.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend or...
However, if we look at the example of Hans, it is true that our university always rewards people who perform some service for it. This is our dear rector's jurisdiction, however.
My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd. A lot of bird species seem to seek harbor there.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amazon cuckoo. That's right. But, oh, I'm so foolish. I can't remember what was so special about it. Just that its behavior is very peculiar.
The Amazon? Where's the Amazon? What is the Amazon?
I'm sorry, my dear, but one cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is the key to real knowledge. Why don't you pay a visit to our library?
Thank you very much.
He has a fair point.
Arriving in Barrackstadt is an amazing experience. I've never seen such a station.
You came by train?
Yes, in a kind of clockwork train with a spring mechanism that winds down regularly.
It was
You
your first
drive a
time.
train? Young ladies of today never cease to amaze me.
Oh, no, I'm not the engineer. The train's engineer is actually an automaton. I am sorry, all this probably sounds very strange.
A clockwork train, driven by an automaton. I once knew a man long ago who could have invented such a train. It was he who designed the bandstand in the main square. To think that he was even capable of creating such a gadget. He was astounding, a true genius. But oddly, at the same time, he was also almost a child. It was as if his mental and physical evolution had definitively halted at the age of 10. Can you believe that?
Yes. I think I can believe that. At least I'm beginning to.
You should be able to, considering you know so much about Hans.
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Vorarlberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Vorarlberg. Hans Vorarlberg. Do you know him?
Hans Vorarlberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive. We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans. At the time, we were both students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Your Hans Vorarlberg sounds uncannily like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, and never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him. He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A doll, you say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mout. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly confused, but it awoke a great interest in me.
What do you mean?
To my knowledge, there is only one tribe who made figurines featuring a mout, and that tribe is the Yukols. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for them, the dolls constituted a sacred object, illustrating one of their central legends. How such a doll made the journey from the frozen Siberian north to a cave in the French Alps is a mystery to me. Even today, it is beyond my comprehension.
Have you considered that Hans Vorarlberg was maybe making it up?
Bet you have the doll.
To have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent a story like that. The doll is a sacred part of the Syberia legend. He described it to me in exact detail. Syberia itself is a chimera that paleontologists of the world are very fond of pursuing.
What would you say about seeing Hans Vorarlberg again? After all, you could come with me and help me find him.
Young lady, you are very kind. I'm far too old for such escapades.
Please do excuse my persistence, Professor, but Did Hans Vorarlberg ever talk about his childhood? About Valadilen and his sister, Anna?
No, not that I recall.
Pity.
When I think of Hans, I'm always reminded of a mysterious mammoth doll he would talk about so often. A small effigy of a mammoth made of hide and mounted with its own miniature maut. How come he was so lucky? Why have I not seen this?
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, 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 not at all, my dear child.
No point. It's locked.
Won't be locked once this guy has gone inside. Also, ew, those radiators had some nasty leakage. She was so mean saying that Hans made up the mammoth doll when she had it in her hands, in her TARDIS jacket, and it's on full display in her train! Damn, bitch! Now that's a library love would approve of. Would this be able to hold all your books, love, or maybe not? The Illustrated Dictionary of Plants and Mushrooms. I have no idea what this is saying. Everybody needs more book storage. The something of Brockstadt University Naturalist Society. Preface by Professor something something. Ah, the Friends. Okay. I couldn't read Friends there at all. Thanks, Unstable. You're awesome. The Yangla Cola. The Yangla Cola is a mushroom without stem that has a chewy texture. It is a member of the polypore family and grows exclusively on the trunks of certain trees of the Amazon jungle. Where the hell is this Amazon? Not the Amazon, because that's another word, anyway. Well, it is edible when young. The Yangua cola has a woody texture and insipid flavor and offers no great culinary appeal. Native Amazonian tribes, however, are very attached to the mushroom. Why they are so fond of the fungus has taken extensive scientific research to hmm, this I have no idea. I can't read this. It's a little bit too scrolled up and elucidate. Thank you. On my screen, it's like so tiny and blurry. I'm gonna shove my face closer and try to read the rest. Biologists have reached the conclusion that the Yangra cola contains a special substance that is unique to the mushroom. The substance significantly affects vision and enhances its acuteness enormously. Amazonian Indian hunters discovered this effect and started using it centuries ago. The Yangla cola is dried and ground to a powder and consumed before the hunt commences. Its effect is instantaneous, and the penetration of the hunter's vision increases extraordinarily. The hunter is then able to aim and hit targets concealed behind thick undergrowth, even over great distances. Oh my god, this was painful. And useless for us, actually. Are there any other books? Or was it just this stupid article about something that we won't even need? Or didn't we? No, I think we found the stupid thing and needed it actually. Okay, moving on. This should actually just take us back. Where was the book on the stupid birds? I need to find out about the berries that other bird needs. Berries that happen to make an excellent wine, actually. We have one book here, and some annoying people around here too.
Excuse me. Can I disturb you a second?
No,
You could be a little bit nicer about it.
keep quiet. In case you haven't noticed, we're somewhere that requires silence and tranquility.
I can relate to that guy so much. Stop showing everything in your boobs. Amazon memories of an expedition. Not cool, Kate. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, actually, those raptors were the cuckoos? I forgot that those were the cuckoos. I thought there were another species. The Amazon cuckoo. This subspecies of the common cuckoo is endemic in the Amazon forest and is one of the region's most beautifully colored species. The male's plumage is a bright crimson, while the female's is a little more hmm, I can't tell what that says. And neutral. Probably muted or something? Russet, thank you. How are you able to read that? I think the stream has better readability than my actual screen. Habitat and food. The red cuckoo inhabits the more isolated and densest areas of the Amazon forest. It is reliant on the thick upper foliage of the rainforest to live its lonely existence. The explorer may nevertheless have an excellent view of the bird when the animal ventures to lower branches in search of forest Sauvignon grapes. I remember those. Those were pretty good for wine. The wild vines provide the bird with the majority of its food. The cuckoo is particularly partial to its juicy fruit. The red cuckoo may sometimes gorge itself on its fruit to the point of drunkenness, uh, rendering it an easy prey for any jungle predator. Eat and be eaten, such is the impeccable law of nature. Yeah, the cursives are horrible. Anna's letters were with much larger fonts. I had no problem reading it, but the cursive here is like, oh god, why? Reproduction. Like other species of cuckoo, the red Amazon cuckoo delegates the task of raising its young to other birds. This parasitic behavior enables the species to reproduce periodically and with minimum effort. The female cuckoo sound scouts its territory on the lookout for nests under construction. She chooses the moment when its owners are absent to lay her eggs, generally in the afternoon. The host, meanwhile, will lay mainly in the morning. After laying an egg in her selected nest, the female will remove one of the host's eggs and destroy it or eat it later. The cuckoo's egg generally hatches before the eggs of its adopted brothers and sisters. The cuckoo chick will instinctively edge the other eggs from the nest. The young cuckoo grows fast. Sometimes its foster parents will perch on the back of the hungry chick to feed it. Even if the cuckoo's egg is very different to the smaller host eggs, it's, it's nevertheless mimics the host egg in certain ways. Not perfectly, but just enough to be accepted by most species. The future. The red cuckoo's love of the grape could sadly prove fatal for the species in the medium term. European settlers who have tried to cultivate the grape on the Amazonian, oh dear God, alluvial plains have decimated the Amazon red cuckoo's population. Grape producers, to protect their harvests from what they would call in what? Okay, this is horrible. I see looting, but in Veritrade, that's the first time I'm actually hearing that word. I mean, I've read it here a few times, but I've never really checked it out. And because the level of readability, it's just skip. have decided, have declared an all-out war on the bird. It is to be feared that the cuckoo will be on the losing side. The red cuckoo reproduces relatively well in captivity and is one of the jewels in the crown of the Barokstadt University ornithological collection. However, scientists at the university have their own reservations about the species and its propensity to become periodically invasive whenever conditions are favorable to it, to the department to the detriment of other rarer species. Heads of the Barkstadt aviary have therefore undertaken a policy of birth control to attempt to balance out nature's imperfections in this artificial environment. The forest Sauvignon grape. Today it is very rare to find the forest Sauvignon grape in the wild. The species has been decimated by a terrible equatorial phylloxera epidemic. However, in Europe, successful cultivation of the plant is the pride of the Barokstadt University Botany Collection and has largely contributed to the survival of the species around the world. So we have the bird and the grape somewhere in the aviary. Now we go to meet those annoying bastards. At least they will talk for themselves. The Three Stooges.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
Oh yeah.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to, and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The
I just
situation is
arrived.
most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Train
haven't
should
had a
first
train
stop,
here
then
in
subsequently
ages.
leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall?
Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
They don't do anything along the wall, fucking idiots. Okay, let's shake them up for any information.
I haven't introduced myself. My name is Kate Walker.
Walker, haven't we already had a Miss Walker? Ethnology Masters, September 1953, if my memory serves me correctly.
Perfectly well, my dear colleague. But if I may be so bold, it was a Mr. Walker and not a Miss. It was Bill Walker, sat this June 68 exams. The impudent fool turned up for the oral assessment in jeans, flouting strict internal regulations which explicitly state the required uniform for the occasion.
Pure incitement. It was scandalous. Sadly, we have seen worse since. Young people lack all respect of traditional values.
Tradition, young lady. One must always uphold tradition.
Fucking idiots. Yeah, there was a huge wall yesterday. And we will be going back to it eventually.
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while. I could work for the money.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors the main university courtyard.
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you
Okay,
the truth,
we
there
have no
are
idea.
a number of complex mechanisms here in Barakstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
Fucking
Your
idiots.
train, however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Fucking idiots. Oh my god, I hate them so much.
You wouldn't know if there is any Forest Sauvignon here in Barakstadt, would you?
Absolutely.
When he says absolutely, he means, of course, absolutely none.
What we mean, of course, is that we are absolutely positive there is no Forest Sauvignon here in Barakstadt.
Really? Are you sure? Because I read in a book that Barakstadt possesses a number of plants. I wouldn't mind getting a hold of some if possible.
Out of the question, miss.
The assistant rector means to say that our priority is for you to remove your train from our station. Your research will have to wait until your next stop.
Yes, that's right. Your train must leave the station immediately, so please refrain from wasting our time in needless visitations.
Don't forget the regulations, miss. Don't forget them. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. And quickly.
That idea of the station aviary is really very original.
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology, you see, and more particularly, ornithology. Proper study and instruction should not be limited to books. Observation of living matter is indissociable from theoretical questions.
It contains some very rare specimens that have been brought back from faraway exotic countries, especially for our university, by the world's most intrepid explorers.
do you remember Alexander Valenbois and his peculiar bird?
Absolutely. His gift produced some very embarrassing long-term consequences.
A poison chalice, indeed. It must be said, the situation could have been much worse, however.
Oh, yes, it could have been terribly problematic.
Excuse me.
Miss, we find ourselves terribly put out by the presence of your train in our station and by its recurrent immobility.
Indeed, the situation is very regrettable. Your huge locomotive is very cumbersome.
A train should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that. But bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric?
Such
How
bastards.
dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Yeah, he
Gentlemen,
was
gentlemen,
deadly
let's
jealous.
Try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
If you
Right.
don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
Could I possibly leave the train in the station for one more day?
Out of the question. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
Perform the task we agreed on, quickly, and we will pay you on completion.
A deal is a deal. Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank
So
you
busy.
for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
They're so busy they need their tea, poor old farts. Wanna kill them a little.
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb
Unstable.
you again.
What is
Yeah,
it you
you're
want from me,
right.
miss?
They fit the bill perfectly.
I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
Oh, let's see. Sauvignon. Sauvignon? I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amazon, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Bergstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amazon Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Highly implausible. But you should ask the station master. He is keeper of the greenhouse at our university, so he could tell you more than me.
Oh, thanks very much. Please do excuse my persistence, Professor, but did I'll leave.
Sorry?
She just repeated stuff, okay. Ah, we don't have much to go on. We only have a hook. Oh, and there's the phone.
Hello?
So, you got him then, this air?
Ah, it's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Bergstadt.
What? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university town. It would appear Hans Vorarlberg once passed by here several years ago.
So if he isn't there anymore, then there's no point hanging around.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Vorarlberg is still alive. For the time being, I'm trying to gather extra information from people who have known him.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of time, Mr. Morrison.
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
Several. Yeah, she really stretched the several there. Yeah, several decades, of course it is. Okay, I think I need to grab something from the train. Get some quest parts moving. Don't think there was anything new to tell Oscar, unless he has something to say about the grapes.
Everything okay, Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am awaiting your instructions.
You don't know where I might find any Amazon Forest Sauvignon, do you?
No, Kate Walker.
Oh, so cute.
The university authorities want us to move the train out of their station.
They have a point, Kate.
Hey, that's not their problem.
The problem is also beyond.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Oscar, see you.
In a while.
Okay, not much to squeeze out of Oscar right now. There we go. Nice and snug in the boob. I like it that she runs and then stops and walks carefully down the stairs. Yeah, the train station is amazing.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
What can I do for you, miss?
Yeah, ask him about this. Oh, there's only one thing to ask him about, and he will run off like a cat on fire.
Where might I find some forest Sauvignon plants, please?
No place around here, that's for sure. I don't know what you're talking about. That stuff's from the Amazon.
You know, for someone who knows nothing about the plant, you seem pretty well informed about which mysterious faraway country it comes from.
Oh, Amazon, Peru, Papua New Guinea, it's all the same to me. Gotta go. Gotta work.
Wait, don't go. You know what? I don't think he was being totally straight with me.
Well, he has a good reason to be a coward. Wait, didn't he come here to hide?
Can't go that way.
I'll have to catch him. Thanks for the hydrate, love.
Excuse me, station master, but I need you again.
Can't you see I am very, very busy?
No.
Well, I am. Very busy indeed. But, okay. I think I can give you a minute of my time.
All these birds in a station. I can.
And you know,
It wasn't.
not
I see what.
the fact.
You have an automaton?
Thanks for this wretched
A wonder
stable.
of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted
And patting the cat.
in the air. It passes through and it swoops down to collect parasites. But heck, the dang eagle's been out of order for several years.
Why not? You.
Worse.
I'm looking for a kind of little juicy berry. You don't know where I could find some?
Look, lady, the station doesn't have any Sauvignon berries, not even forest Sauvignon.
Funny you should mention it. That's exactly what I was looking for. Forest Sauvignon.
Sauvignon, raspberries, red currants, they're all the same to me. And we don't grow none of them here.
But you see, I have just read a very interesting book which says that the rare Sauvignon berry is actually cultivated here in the famous Barokstadt University aviary itself.
Well, if it's in a book, then don't believe everything you read, miss.
Don't believe everything you read.
But I don't think you're telling me the truth.
What do you mean? I don't know. How should I know where to find your stupid grave? Go ask your professor, what's his name, Pons, the paleontologist.
But you're the master of this station, so you should know better than anyone.
Nobody tells me anything. I don't know. Go see the old guy with the fossils.
Yeah, you're adorable.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barokstadt, miss.
Aw, cat. You're a Desi cat. Desi cat demon. Nah, the birds wouldn't. I actually need the grapes to get the birds away from the ladder. We just need like a handful, but they're having a little cooch operation going on here. So it's a bit of a problem to get any of the stuff.
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb you again.
What is it you want to know, miss?
You wouldn't know where the forest Sauvignon plants are kept in Bauerstadt, would you?
Why do you think there are Sauvignon plants here?
I read about it in a book at the library.
Try going to see the station master. If such a shrub...
It's actually he who sent me to you. I thought it a little strange, but he definitely said ask the paleontologist. You're the only one here, aren't you?
Yes, yes indeed. What a strange way to behave. Well, I think he must have made a mistake. That's all. Nobody tells me anything here. Maybe you should ask the rectors. After all, they are in charge of the university.
All right, thanks.
Oh, just
I'll leave you in
passing
peace.
the ball.
I hope I haven't
Sorry?
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb you again. Professor, I have brought you something that should be of interest to you. Look.
What have you got there, then? Let's see. An effigy of a mammoth. But this is Hans' doll, is it not? Yes, of course it is. How on earth did you... Oh, my God. It's in my hands. It exists. It really exists. Please do excuse me. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
You see? Your Hans and my Vorarlberg heir are one and the same.
This is incredible. After all these years, how can I ever thank you, my dear? Oh, I must waste no time. I'm off to my laboratory. I must study this carefully. May I borrow your treasure a moment?
Well, actually,
Don't worry, miss. I will take the greatest care of it. But I need to study it. You see, it has such importance to me that this very afternoon I shall deliver an impromptu lecture to my students about this very object. If you are interested in Hans Vorarlberg, then it is essential that you attend.
do you think so?
Obviously. Give me your telephone number and I will call you the moment my lecture begins. I will return you your doll at the end. You have my word.
Ooh, we got a cylinder here. Anything else? It's a pretty nifty room. Okay, we got a test tube holder and young cola powder. That was a good thing. Well, it does look like a chemical lab. I wouldn't want all the stuff that's in the test tubes to be breathable by people for too long.
What is it you want to know, miss?
Young Coke. Probably.
You wouldn't know where the forest Sauvignon plants are. I read. It's actually.
Yes.
All right. You told me earlier about a lecture on some ancient Siberian tribe called the Ooks or something?
The Yukals, my dear. Careful not to confuse them with the Ukistran people of Central Asia.
Do excuse me. I wanted to know if your lecture is going to start soon.
Your eagerness to learn delights me, my dear. But I haven't finished studying this marvelous mammoth effigy yet. Don't worry, I will call you. See you later.
Yeah, this room totally doesn't suit the
I'll leave you in
paleontology
peace.
teacher.
I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry?
Let's go chat with the annoying trio about the grapes.
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you again, but I have a little problem.
A little problem, a little problem. Everyone has little problems now, you know.
They are kept to oneself, and they don't stop the world from turning.
Nor trains from leaving stations.
Are you sure there are no Amazon Sauvignon plants in Barockstadt? Because I have just interviewed the station master and the paleontologist, and what they said really didn't convince me that there wasn't any here.
We are quite definite on this point. There are no Sauvignon plants growing in Barockstadt.
You see, miss, the Amazon Forest Sauvignon is a rare shrub that requires very special conditions for growth.
That's right. Conditions that are very hard to reproduce, believe you me.
Difficult, but not impossible. Fortunately, our garden has proved very successful.
Your
An
garden?
idiot.
So, there is a garden in Barockstadt?
Oh, the garden. Well, if there was one, it would be only a little garden hidden behind the station. But our station master would be very proud of it.
He would take very good care of it, too. Everything would grow marvelously if we were able to cultivate it at all, and it would be all down to his gardening prowess.
And we would be proud as punch. And we wouldn't forget the role the paleontologist might play in this.
What's the paleontologist got to do with it all?
Without him and without his laboratory, how would we make the wine, do you think?
And it would be good wine indeed, my dear colleagues, would it not?
Oh, yes, a delightful balm to soothe away our long hours of toil and our heavy responsibilities.
We would wait impatiently every year for the arrival of the year's produce.
So, if I have understood you correctly, there are indeed Sauvignon plants in Barockstadt. They are cultivated in a garden behind the station, then turned into wine by the paleontologist's loving care. And finally, the pleasure of tasting is yours. If I'm not very much mistaken, gentlemen, you have a minor racket operating here.
Miss, you do go jumping to some hasty conclusions.
We never said that. That's not what we said at all.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking in the conditional, you know, with ifs and woulds.
So, what would happen if I had such a hunch?
You would have to keep it to yourself, of course.
Yes, if you would be so
I am a
kind as to
lawyer.
keep it a secret. It would only be a small local concern producing barely a few bottles every year.
That's right. Nothing so grandiose as a business. Otherwise, we'd be liable to be fined. So we can't count on your discretion, can't we?
Don't worry, I have no intention at all of getting messed up in anything.
Here we are, busy already?
Thank you.
And
Yep, that's exactly what tea time is about. Oh, cat! Objection! And these are not the plants you're looking for. With the correct hand gesture. Oh, you don't have the little gavel thing. Hey, she already got messed up a lot in this stupid trip to Syberia. Yeah, it was the perfect amount, cat. Come on, dude, I just need a handful of berries. Don't be an asshole.
excuse me, Station Master, but I need you again.
Can't you see I am very, very busy?
No.
Well, I am. Very busy indeed. But, okay, I think I can give you a minute of my time.
You have been playing with me, haven't you? You knew very well there were forest Sauvignon berries in the station garden.
Not at all. I've never seen your Sauvignon thing.
You don't have to lie to me. I know all about it. You and the rectors are in cahoots, and the professor's lab has been turned into a distillery. You've all got a nice little smuggling racket on the side.
Smuggling racket? Hey, lady, you're going a bit far there. It's just a little on-the-side thing we got going, that's all. It's just for ourselves. Hey, honest.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. Aren't you worried about the reputation of this fine university? The authorities should be informed of this.
But we haven't done anything wrong. It's not a crime.
Can you
He
open
has a
the gate
point.
to the garden, please?
Sure. No problemo. Right away, miss.
She could totally use wine on the trip, honestly.
There you are. Please feel free to visit the garden at your leisure. And there was just one thing. I'm not a liar. Not really. Just mum's the word. There is the reputation of the university to think about. I have superiors, and I have to do what I can.
I understand. Don't you worry.
Thank you, miss.
Threatening the lowest level of the food chain. Poor guy. Well, off to the garden we go. Wow, that's a lot of birch. They're probably in the birch juice production too. Not there! You'll squish them, you stupid woman. I think one handful is enough. Unstable. Yeah, birch syrup is a pretty amazing thing, actually. Yeah, she can just put a few raptors in her jacket to keep her warm. Hope nobody here has vertigo.
Impossible to reach it.
And that's how we get the cuckoo's egg. The birds have made a nest inside the poor mechanical eagle. That's sad. Oh yeah, she can totally stuff any automaton in that jacket. Poor Oscar.
Yeah, miss, please, excuse me.
Yes?
You know, I want to apologize for our little misunderstanding. I brought you a bottle of wine. Markstadt Sauvignon. Very good year. Let me know what you think.
I'm very touched. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey, lady.
Thank you.
Cat. Ma'am, do you know you're setting off every metal detector in the county? What are you carrying? Coins? A pen? Pipes? Oscar? Good one, Cat. And she got herself a bottle of wine that we will need not much long after. Think we won't have any problem leaving this station by the end of the stream. Just stuff the train in her jacket. Yeah, that probably would work.
Hans, I have some very sad news. Our father is dead. He passed away peacefully last Sunday in his sleep. I feel so lonely now.
Father had been but a shadow of himself since your departure. I had to take care of everything for him. Housework, factory paperwork, the workforce, clients, everything. And now, today, well, I really don't know who or what I'm fighting for. Times are so hard, and this terrible war is destroying everything. Nobody cares for our automatons anymore. I just think about you returning. And when you do return, I will have turned this factory into a palace worthy of your genius. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much, Anna.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. And now she has a bottle of wine nestling somewhere safe in that jacket. Yeah, it's in a very well padded carrying case. Unstable. Balanced golden egg with a cuckoo egg. Really, I just had to pull a lever here? Well, that was an easy fix. I like how you can actually see them move their hands and play right now. Thanks for the hydrate and the stretch and the pat, love. Here we go. Thank you for throwing my own points at me. Cat.
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you again, but I have a little problem.
A little problem, a little.
They are kept to.
Nor trains from.
Could I possibly leave the train in the station?
Out.
Perform a deal.
Gentlemen, I have managed to repair your university bandstand.
The bandstand is playing again. This is marvelous news.
We are really very grateful indeed.
Yes, very grateful indeed. We will look back on your visit with much fondness in our hearts.
And now let us in turn honor our word. How much is it you need, miss?
$100, if it's not too much to ask.
We agree to grant you the aforementioned sum, miss. You may now leave with your train.
$100 in coins?
And while we're on
God
the subject,
damn!
when will you be leaving?
Yes, because now you should relocate your train as quickly as possible. Here we are,
All right.
And
I'm glad we can actually skip the conversations as well. Yep, there was a literal bag of coins. $100 in coins. Oh my god, I forgot that little detail. Unstable. Yeah, paper just weighs too much.
there you go. Here's your money. I've checked it. It's all there.
And now they have coins for days to collect from the deck of their ship.
Ah, thank you. Not difficult get dollar. See? You are a real businesswoman. I'm not the only one around here. We pleased to do deal with you. Now, you open lock or we no help you. Why didn't you manage to open them? After all, you don't have to be a genius.
Ma vad pensinos esto? Di kleine madam. No se saye mar alles non comprendo. En allora kaput en andere bordel. Wir war moi. On boom telefonieren. Kaput.
My husband say instructions complicated. No understand manual. My husband angry. Very angry. Oh, now telephone broke. Kaput. Now that is annoying. What are you going to do next? We wait repairman. Well, I don't have the time to wait. I'll have to go have a look. There must be some way of releasing the opening mechanism. Take key. Sailor always need key for lock. Okay, thanks.
Let's grab the key. At least that was finally something that fits inside the jacket. Yeah, her husband is a special case. I'm impressed how she understands him if she does, because her interpretations are really liberal. Also, I had no idea about the Toonies. That's a fun name.
Hello?
Hey, how's my little baby girl? I was thinking about you only yesterday because I saw this fantastic fur coat. You are wrapping up warm, aren't you? I mean, people in foreign countries never know how to dress properly for the weather.
Mom, it's so sweet of you to worry, but I'm fine, really. The trip's a breeze, no worries. I mean, there's
Well, when are you coming back? Frank is dying to meet you.
Frank? Oh, yeah, your singer. You two seeing each other then?
Oh, you'll never guess the surprise he gave me yesterday.
No, I suppose I won't.
Frank invited me to a big charity show organized by, well, someone or another. Anyway, they got him singing a couple of old numbers from his repertoire, and in the end, he asked me to go up on stage with him. Can you imagine me, your mother, on stage in front of thousands of people?
Wow, I would have loved to have been there. Not too emotional, I hope.
Oh, too emotional by far, especially as I hadn't even been to the hairdresser. Well, I didn't even have the proper dress on. But Frank promised me he'd see to that next time. Oh, he's such a cutie. And he's got the sweetest little...
I'm sure he has, Mom.
It would be so good if you could join us one day. Let's see. When is his next gala? I'm so forgetful these days. I swear I'd lose my head if it weren't in the clouds. You just watch out, my girl. Them years will catch up with you much quicker than you think.
I'll look out for them, Ma. Nice to hear your voice. Lots of love.
Well, to you too, my little munchkin.
Really? They have a loon on them, so the $1 Canadian is loonies? And the 2 is toonies? Oh my dear God, Canada, why? Mm. Okay, no comment on that one. Okay, I have this unlocked now. Okay, the phone number 27666742.
Darn it!
Can somebody write down the number? Oh, it was 42. Why did I have 27666742? Thanks, guys.
Welcome to the East Block Control Center. To start, press the number sign. If you are using the Haltenberg lock, press 1. If you are using the Morloff lock, press 2. If you are using the Koningpass lock, press 3. If you are using the Barrackstock lock, press 4. To return to the last command, press the number sign. If you want to raise the water level, press 1. If you want to lower the water level, press 2. To return to the last command, press the number sign. You want to raise the water level in the Barrackstock lock? To confirm your choice, press star. To return to the previous command, press the number sign. Your request has been logged. Unfortunately, our regional technician is currently on holiday, and no replacement is available. We will reply to your request within 48 hours. In case of an emergency, please operate the lock system manually. We apologize for delays to our service.
Well, there goes the human intervention. There is none. There we go. Oh, C1 Layla, that sucks. Are you still trying on Clee's banner, love? Oh, from the event. I thought I'd be a C1
We're on
too.
the boat.
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, "Hello, young lady. You are..." Right, I've got it. I know now how the locks work. So guide your boat into the lock, and I'll take care of the mechanism.
Godverdomme. Das ist eine echte Ladies. Alle trois, range alle Dingen and obligados de dame. Ach, c'est content on se route again.
What did your husband say? You, hurry up. We hurry to travel again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll meet each other on the other side.
He was deeply regretful he was worried he was married to you, you bitch. Well, the helpful young lady decides to ignore him, so that's fine. Gosh, Cat is still working? There's barely any light left in the apartment. Oh, get auxiliary lighting just in case. Okay, we have lights.
Hey there! On the boat! Da, barge on other side! You still need us? There. Your barge is over the locks now. It's up to you to keep your part of the bargain.
Yes, pero Frau. Attach loco.
My husband say, return to train, attach chain, then barge will pull. Okay, I'll get moving. I'll leave you to it. I won't disturb you again.
До свидания.
What chain though? They did not provide chain? Do I have to have another conversation with them?
Hey, Doc! What do we do now to tie my train to the barge?
Mademoiselle tak loco coco mitchen.
What did your husband say? You attach chain to train and chain to train with barge.
Hop, catch it up.
There's my chain.
If that's going to work, look.
That's one hot hook. I love how he pulled it just enough for it to stop on its own in the perfect place to be wound up.
Hello, Kate Walker here.
Miss Walker, this is Professor Potts. I'm about to start my lecture on the Yukos at any moment. Please make haste to come.
Okay, I'll give it my best.
Excellent. We'll be in the main lecture hall. See you soon.
Okay, let's take care of that first then. I believe I won't be needing anything else from the university once I get the doll back. You could have used the stairs there, Bish. They're still valid.
Ah, there you are, Miss Walker. Good, good. Take a seat quickly. I'm impatient to start my lesson.
For all three of your students, two including me. Oh, there's actually a few more. See, uncomfortable
My
chairs, and
young
one of them
friends,
is already
a
asleep.
very exciting discovery, unimaginable up until only a few hours ago, has come into my hands and has finally allowed me to complete my study on the mysterious Yukol people. Lights, please. The Yukols are a people from the far north about whom very little is known. They live far away, very far away, on the frozen borders of Syberia. This distance and the climatic conditions of the region, which are unfavorable to human existence, have limited the size of the Yukol population and kept it out of reach of the scientific world. The handful of slides that follow are actually the only documentation we have in our possession. It was a Russian explorer who made these drawings and took these photographs 100 or so years ago. Today, we owe what we know about the Yukol people and their culture to him. We know that the origins of the Yukols date back to the last ice age. Curiously, evidence of their presence has been found in Western Europe, and more precisely in the prehistoric caves at the heart of the Alps. This people, it seems, undertook a long migration over centuries towards the far north of the globe. The reasons for this migration are due to the importance of the mammoth in their craft, trade, and culture. They used them for transportation and as beasts of burden. The mammoth brought them meat, skins, fat, and ivory. Man and animal lived in symbiosis. There's no doubt about it. Mammoths started to drift away from the region due to changing climatic conditions, and the Yukos followed them to the north, to the edges of Syberia. Prehistoric cave drawings, identified as Yukol in origin, first led me to the extraordinary hypothesis that the Yukos had managed to domesticate the mammoth. They are, to the best of our knowledge, the only prehistoric people to represent a man riding a mammoth. Today, because of this genuine mammoth skin effigy, identified by myself as an authentic Neolithic object, I can confirm this hypothesis. Yukol forebears managed to tame mammoths. Prehistoric man uses little imagination. He draws what he sees and represents scenes from real life. This familiar day-to-day object is actually a children's toy. As we have seen, Yukol existence was inextricably linked to that of the mammoth. They used its skin for clothing and to make the roofs and walls of their houses. They used the tusks to build the frameworks of their homes, as well as weapons, tools, and jewelry. Curiously, the disappearance of the mammoth 12,000 years ago had no immediate effect on the Yukol's way of life. It seemed that for a long time after, the people maintained their strong bond with the mammoth through the centuries. As incredible as it may seem, the Yukol people have continued right up until the start of this century to feed themselves on mammoth meat and to use the skin for clothing and shelter. Their ivory craftwork industry is still flourishing. It would appear that to preserve ancestral customs, the Yukols learned how to exploit through the centuries the large number of frozen mammoth carcasses that were perfectly preserved in the ice of the Siberian tundra. They have been able to live mainly off this enormous freezer stock for almost 30 centuries. As plausible as this explanation may seem, it seems it is not enough for the scientific community who, I will confess, is greatly perplexed by the question. In the absence of acceptable scientific evidence, we have to make do with Yukol shaman artifacts. The research department that I have the honor to represent today lends no credence to the myths and legends that these tribal charlatans peddle. We have to take their stories at face value, mere tales to while away the long Siberian winter. The legend of the Siberian ice ark is a very good example. You are invited to find out for yourselves from the pamphlet that I had passed around to you. This legend would have us believe Today, somewhere on a lost island to the north of Siberia, there are living mammoths still in existence, a sort of hangover from the Ice Age. This small herd has been miraculously preserved for more than 120 centuries by the Yukol's tender care. And the island on which the pachyderms are said to live is called Syberia. My friends, I advise you to resist the temptation you may have to believe in this pish and tish. The island of Siberia is not charted on any map, and the idea that mammoths have survived to the 21st century is an idle scientist's pipe dream. The Yugols were sadly among the first victims of the colonization of continental Siberia led by the Russians in the 20th century. The Kolkhoz and Sovkhoz systems, as well as the exploitation, disdain, and humiliation people had to suffer, marked a definitive break in the Yukol's traditional lifestyle. Since the collapse of the communist regime, the Yukol population finds itself confronted with the same political and social upheavals that other Siberian communities are experiencing. There are two consequences to arise from this. Some Yukols have lost their tribal identity and have integrated into the Russian population. Others, however, have sought long and hard to re-establish links with their ancestral culture that was lost under the Soviet regime. Now, at the start of the 21st century, the last true surviving Yukols have gone to live on the vast territories of their ancestors. Nobody knows today where they live or how they survived. Their very existence would be a matter for speculation if they did not turn up periodically at the tundra's most isolated fur trading posts to exchange mammoth tusks for essential items. There ends my lecture for today. Thank you for being among us today, Miss Walker. Please make your way to the laboratory where you will find your mammoth doll. There are also photocopies of my lectures should you so require them.
I'm a little sad that the sound of the machine was taking over his voice so hard. And good job, love. Your little bookworm is adorable. You are raising her well. I was promised a pamphlet. This guy's so asleep he did not wake up through all of this noise. Yeah, at least I can read this one. The Legend of the Ivory Ark. The last ice age ended when the planet warmed up. This sudden climatic change threatened the existence of many animal species, including mammoths inhabiting the far northern Siberian wastes. It is said that the Yukol peoples decided to follow Noah's example and built an enormous ark to try and preserve the mammoth's existence. They lived in symbiosis with the pachyderm, which was at the heart of their religious worship. The ship was constructed entirely from mammoth tusks. A small herd of mammoths was installed on board with enormous quantities of fodder. Control of the ship was entrusted to a handful of, practic- of particularly intrepid Yuko clans. Their mission was to take the animals to other lands with pastures more befitting to their survival. One day, 50 summers later, as legend would have it, the Ark returned to its starting point. The Yukos were astonished to find nobody aboard apart from the carcass of several mammoths, perfectly preserved in the ice encasing the ship. The clansmen believed that this was a mysterious sign from the gods, and they ate the mammoths in a memorable feast. 1 week later, the ark set sail once more, carried away by the currents. Again it returned half a century later with not a soul on board except more well-preserved frozen mammoth carcasses. This mystery continued for millennia, each time the surprisingly well-preserved mammoths appearing out of nowhere. The Yukos interpreted the phenomenon as a benevolent offering from their dead companions who were believed to have perished on the Ark's first voyage in some horrendous maritime cataclysm. It was believed that their souls had found eternal rest on a mythical island that the shaman named Syberia. They constructed a whole religion around this belief with rites and customs punctuated by the periodic appearance of the phantom ship and its precious cargo. For centuries, nothing changed the Ark's mysterious cycle. Only the size of the mammoths changed, reducing im- imperceptibly over time. Until one day, 100 or so years ago, the Ark returned earlier than expected. It was empty. The Yukos were dumbfounded and utterly confused. The spirits of their ancestors had forsaken them. Everything they had believed in, that had been the bedrock of their culture since the very depths of time, had now lost all meaning. The most fanatical believers noted that the frequency of appearances had in fact increased, and maintained that there was still hope as long as the Ark continued its return journey from the unknown. Some elder Yukos boasted having seen it several times, but henceforth each time the white ship returned, it only offered an empty shell to the despairing eyes of the surviving Yukos. The belief became superstitions, and the reality became legend. Yeah, you know Ark very well, Cat. And yeah, there's probably because of the much smaller island that they have to inhabit.
What is it you want to know, miss?
Yeah, nothing
I'll
really.
leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry?
That's enough. Let's go home. I mean, to the train. Off we go! She almost collided with the door just now. So, Unstable is a fan of the elk carcasses. I think there was one more in this side, very small. I don't know, that particular skeleton looked normal sized ish. Then again, perspective is a little skewed in this game, so maybe it was the one you mentioned. Speaking of changing perspective, yeah, I have seen them in my books about prehistoric times. Pretty amazing. I've always been a fan of dinosaurs and bones and such. Though not that much of a fan of mammoths.
Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am waiting to continue our journey.
I'm off, Oscar. See you later.
Yes, Kate Walker.
Okay, let me leave the statue in place. Yeah, I love the Natural History Museum here. I am planning to give it a visit sometime soon. Haven't been there in way too long. Oh, I know I will. I have always loved it there. God damn it, phone.
Hello?
Where are you?
Hi, Dan. I'm in Barrickstadt.
What? Is that a town? I hope the man you're looking for lives there. Are you coming home soon?
From what I gather, it's one huge university with an extraordinary station aviary. If you could only see it, there are trees and birds everywhere. It's so weird here.
Sounds like a great place for a bit of sightseeing. So, are you coming back soon?
I don't think so. In fact, the train I'm traveling on has some kind of a mechanical problem. We've been forced to stop here.
Us? I thought you were alone. Who's with you?
Oscar, the train engineer.
You're messing around with mechanics now, are you?
Don't be so stupid, Dan, please. Oscar is an automaton created by Mr. Varlberg, the man I'm looking for. And he's not any old robot. He's a sophisticated butler type, if you see what I mean. He's a bit obsessive as well.
Kate, I don't know what they're feeding you in Europe, but don't you think it's time that you came home?
But my mission still isn't finished.
To hell with your mission. I don't know why you accepted it in the first place. If you just stuck to the middle of the road, then we wouldn't be in this mess.
We? If there's any mess, it's me who's in it. And while I'm trying to come to grips with strange towns, you, my darling, are sitting at home on your butt. I seem to remember we had nothing against my departure.
It was only going to be 2 or 3 days, Kate. Please, try to put yourself in my shoes.
Your shoes. Not only do I have to fit myself into your diary, but I've got to get myself into your shoes as well? Is there anywhere else Sir would like me to put myself while we're on this subject?
Look, I don't want to talk about it now. Call me back when you've calmed down.
I was perfectly calm before I picked up your call. I only wanted a few words of encouragement, not your disdain. Was that too much to ask?
You can be such a selfish...
Takes one to know one, sweetheart.
Ooh. Ouch, that was a burn. Yeah, I might have to give that channel a peek if I don't forget. Yeah, this relationship was always going so splendidly. Fucker with his trophy wife. At least they're not married yet.
Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am waiting to continue our journey.
Oscar, if you tell me one more time something's missing, I'll...
Everything is ready. Take your seat, Kate Walker. We are leaving.
I'll... Okay...
Ooh, love. I love both bananas and peaches. Sounds amazing. We're leaving! Yay! We reached so far!
What are you doing there, Oscar?
It is imperative that we comply with railroad and customs regulations, Kate Walker.
Oscar, don't you think we could drop the trifling details once and for all?
We need an exit visa to get beyond the wall, Kate Walker.
And you wouldn't know where I could get one of them from, would you?
There is usually some form of authority stationed at a guard post that is strategically positioned to issue such a visa.
Oscar, the automaton that drives this train will be really impatient to leave soon because he's totally obsessed about punctuality.
Yes, Kate Walker.
And it's weird because sometimes when he drops all that stuff about procedure, he can be so charming and attentive.
Please refrain from attributing human emotions to me, Kate Walker.
Bastard!
You do realize, don't you, Oscar, that by preventing me from continuing this journey, you are also depriving yourself of the opportunity to meet your creator, Hans Vorarlberg.
Procedure requires an exit visa, Kate Walker.
God, I think I'm going crazy.
That is not a requirement, Kate Walker. Only an exit visa is necessary.
You bastard!
I don't suppose you can help me get this visa then?
Your non-supposition is correct, Kate Walker.
Do you realize, my good man, that as a lawyer charged with an important matter of inheritance, I could sue you for obstructing justice?
Kate Walker, we still need an exit visa in any case.
Oscar, don't you think we've wasted enough time already?
You neglected to find the clockwork winding mechanism for the train with sufficient haste, Kate Walker.
Ooh, you bastard.
And you refused to lend a helping hand. Help that could have been invaluable to me.
I agree, Kate Walker.
If you weren't so obsessed by procedure, we wouldn't have had a hitch.
I am not entirely convinced, Kate Walker.
Oscar, please, let's get in the train and leave, can we?
Yes, Kate Walker. Give me the visa.
Oscar, I love you and hate you so much.
Okay, see you later, Oscar.
Yes, Kate Walker.
Let's see, where was the weight? To top of it?
I wonder how that works.
With a Vorarlberg key. We have seen that one a million times by now. Oh, there we go. There's the path. Oscar, my good man, I wanna kill you.
No point. It's locked.
You goddamn robot! I mean automaton. Kate? What the hell are you doing? Ah, there we go. There's the door. God damn the reception in this place.
Hello?
Kate! Oh, is that you? What's going on?
Well, I finally got the mechanical train wound, and I hope it's going to take me to Hans Vorarlberg. I had to sort things out with a couple of weirdo sailors, and they probably ripped me off. But now I'm blocked behind this massive wall. You should see it. It's huge.
I'm not talking about that. I want to know what's going on with Dan.
What do you mean?
I bumped into him at Maggie's zoo, and he said you'd argued.
That's a bit over the top. Things got a bit heated the last time we called, that's all. No need to go overboard.
I don't mean to be Miss Melodramatic, but he didn't seem in such great shape. He had his down in the dumps head on.
Like Dan has a down in the dumps head.
Well, yeah, when that shock of hair flops over his forehead, and his eyes mist up, and his eyebrows kind of creased together.
I'd never noticed. Maybe I did go a bit too far, but he's got such a goody two-shoes image of me that sometimes I just lose it. And this case is taking up a lot of headspace. I was just looking for a bit of compassion.
Well, you sure got mine. So, what's going down?
Like I said before, I'm kind of getting somewhere, but it's slow. This Hans Vorarlberg guy is getting more and more fascinating by the day.
Okay, well, anyway, it doesn't sound like you're bored. Not like back here in the office. Every day is boredom day. Just no fun without you. When are you coming back?
Shouldn't be long, I hope. Look, I've got to go. See you soon.
Well, call us again real soon. And be easier on Dan next time, huh?
I'll try.
Mm-hmm. She's so attentive to Dan, I wonder why.
No point. It's locked.
Look at my pretty train. But yep, I'm not seeing the kitchen card anywhere. The hell are you talking about, Oscar?
Look, broken glasses. If they belong to the captain, then he sure has eye problems going by those lenses.
Yeah, everybody sees different things from there.
Good day to you, sir.
Captain Malatesta, Commander-in-Chief of the Bergstadt Border Post, at your service, madam.
My name is Kate Walker. I've been assigned by my company to find a man who is supposed to be living in Syberia.
What a peculiar mission. Taking so many risks for such a futile goal.
Captain, to my mind, the military zeal with which you insist on guarding this meaningless wall strikes me as equally futile.
I should be offended by your words, miss, but I forgive you. You are young and unaware of the very real dangers lurking in store for us.
Between the station aviary and this bleak wall, the change in atmosphere is radical, don't you think?
It's been a long time since I've been at liberty to judge, miss. My duties forbid me from abandoning my post.
Is the person who takes care of the gate anywhere around?
There is no person who takes care of the gate. Believe you me, ma'am. I have been the one and only guardian of this gate since 1968. That year, I took over the position from the late Lieutenant Colonel Malatesta, my own father.
In that case,
Poor
can you tell me
guy.
how the mechanism works? It sure looks complicated to me.
Not at all. It is child's play for anyone who takes the time to work out its surprisingly straightforward logic. And from the looks of your locomotive, it shouldn't pose you any problems.
Why do you say that?
When I caught sight of your formidable locomotive, I immediately said, heavens, only Hans Vorarlberg could design such an engine. And I know what I'm talking about, ma'am, because he invented the gate's original mechanism. It was his last creation here in Barkstadt.
So you know Hans Vorarlberg?
No, I mean, not personally. I was only a baby when he stayed in Barkstadt. My father spoke often of him, and I knew about his inventions. He left very many things behind him.
I know.
In any case, I noticed that his fantastic knack for inventing has not deteriorated with age. How's he doing?
I don't know. In fact, I don't actually know him. I'm searching for him. An inheritance matter. I hope his train is going to lead me to him.
And why not? His inventions are always full of surprises.
I need a visa to cross the wall and to continue my journey to the east. They told me that you are the only person in a position to issue such a visa.
Indeed, this responsibility is part of my duties. However, I am not currently issuing visas because nobody must venture beyond the wall.
And why not?
It's far too dangerous, in particular for a lady of your standing who is traveling unescorted.
Dangerous? What exactly do you mean, Captain?
The enemy, miss. The enemy. I've been observing them for several years through my telescope. There's one particular horseman stationed yonder. He's a scout from the invading enemy army, and he's been spying on us. So I have to be extremely vigilant. He knows that I know he's there, you understand? And as long as I keep my eye on him, he won't dare try anything.
Are you sure?
Please, take a look for yourself.
Don't mind me if I retire, Captain.
Please, madam. My respects.
Yeah, that evil horseman from the invading army. How dare he? That horseman.
How strange. I can't see a Cossack horseman at all. There's just a dead tree in the middle of an empty plain. That poor captain must have really bad eyesight.
Speaking of a bad eyesight.
Colonel, sir.
Captain, miss.
But you have the air of a great officer.
You flatter me, miss. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that we frontier soldiers are often forgotten by the military administration.
There's no justice. I sympathize with you, Captain. Let us forget our worries for a moment and have a little drink together in the name of friendship.
It would be my pleasure, miss, but the regulations strictly forbid it.
Come on. A little glass of wine never hurt anybody, and nobody need know.
Wine, miss? You are putting me in a very delicate situation.
Don't deny yourself, Captain. Just a little glass. I assure you, it is excellent.
Well, perhaps just a drop.
If he always holds his
Here's
head
your
like that,
rice.
no wonder
To
he
your good
can't see
health,
shit.
Captain.
And to yours, miss. It's been a long time since I've drunk wine in such pleasant company. I admit, it is excellent.
Isn't it? You wouldn't think it came from Barrackstadt. It is made from the Amazon forest Sauvignon grape that has been miraculously conserved and cultivated in the station garden.
Well, well, well. The university authorities kept that one to themselves.
You know, Captain, it is essential that I continue my journey eastwards.
Please, don't even think about it. As I've said, it's extremely dangerous. The enemy is spying on us.
Perhaps your Cossack horseman isn't quite what you thought. Perhaps it's just a dead tree twisted into a strange shape. You should take another look. You never know. Go on, Captain. Give it a try.
So be it. I will make this concession to the fairer sex, miss. But it does seem to be quite ridiculous.
He's quite kind, though. Way better than them, that's for sure.
Incredible. How is this possible? By what strange magic? How could I have been so wrong for so long? The enemy was only a tree. I'm so ashamed.
It's not that bad, Captain. It's only human to make mistakes, after all.
A tree. Nothing but a dead tree.
Pull yourself together, Captain. It's okay. And now I suppose there's nothing stopping you from issuing me a visa?
Yes, of course. There is no more danger. All these years. And now the Cossack has gone. There is nothing left to watch.
Captain, you should be delighted. From now on, you don't have to stay pinned to your watchtower. Travel can start up again normally. You will be able to resume your regular duties like issuing entrance and exit visas.
You are right. I will sign you a visa to cross the wall frontier immediately. 1,000 apologies. Here, miss.
Aww, he's such a kind guy. Wow, and he had a ass pocket TARDIS. Good job, dude. Authorization to cross the border. This document authorizes the holder with belongings to pass through the border wall gate. Warning, beyond the ramparts, conditions for journeys into the eastern territories are filled with uncertainty and reputed to be hazardous. As a consequence, the wall authorities cannot guarantee the physical safety of the traveler and decline all responsibility in the event of any incident.
Thank you, Captain. And keep your eyes open.
Miss, if we could keep this between ourselves, please. For the sake of my honor. You understand?
You have my promise, Captain.
Well, today's stream is just a little bit longer than the last. But that's fine. Who counts half an hour? I just have to hit Oscar over the head with a visa. Nope, unstable? No. No.
Oscar, can't you please forget about...
Your request is...
Okay, see you later.
Yes.
visa. I hope it's regulation, my dear Oscar.
It is regulation. Here is your ticket. Have a good journey, Kate Walker.
So, can we go now?
Indeed, we are already very late, Kate Walker.
Oh, God damn it. I'll give you something late up your ass.
Your ticket, please.
You know, Oscar, you might not think so, but I also know a thing or two about procedure. And that's one bit of procedure I'm not going to forget about easily.
As you wish, Kate Walker.
Yes, for once we're going to do things as I wish.
Just give him the ticket.
Here you go, Oscar.
Thank you, Kate Walker. Now, please return to your seat, Kate Walker.
Yes, Oscar. Immediately, Oscar.
She's gonna kill him before I do. I love the fact that this place is powered by this windmill. Let's see which was the next stop. Oh, this one. Yeah, hopefully. Damn, this was an interesting stop here. And with this, we are saving the game. And hunting for somebody to raid. Yeah, this is you won't want to miss this station, that's for sure. So you better be here next time. Okay, who do we raid today? Should we rate the person that got me 2 new followers today? That's unfortunate and unstable, but you can watch it later. The videos are up for like a week or so. And I'm not going to do the Mist series. Not anytime soon, that's for sure. As you probably know, I've got my hands on Diablo Hellfire. So once we finish with Syberia, we are going through all of Diablo. After that, I think I had some plans for after Diablo. Let me check. Oh yeah, I wanted to play Gris. Also Desperados, that's a great game that I'd love to play for you guys. And Hitchhiker, that's one Desi got me, so we have quite a few games on the list right about now. Okay, let's visit the person that got us a few followers today. We haven't visited them before because I just followed them today too, so let's go there. Until then, bye!